Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. This is another weekly edition of the Real Estate Backstory, where we expose the soft underbelly of the real estate industry here in the Atlanta market. My name is Alan Richardson. I'm the managing broker at Maximum Realtor Partners. This is...
My name is Ming Richardson. I'm the compliance broker for Maximum One Realty and Realtor Partners.
Very cool. And so we're very glad that you joined us today. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things: appraisers, Smokey the Bear, and then we're also going to wrap up by remembering John Lewis. So we're just going to kind of jump right in. And so to start off with, we got a couple of CE classes this week. So on Wednesday, I know it's kind of backwards on the screen, but Wednesday we have Tony Pitts from Homeowners Financial Group. Sorry. The brain sometimes doesn't work.
Monday.
Yeah.
Well, it's Monday.
But he's teaching this Wednesday from 9:30 to 12:30, Mortgage 101. So it's going to be the basics. So it's a great overview for all things mortgages, basically.
Well, not only that, he's going to tell you what's updated on some of the loan product, and because of COVID-19, there are a lot of changes in the lender industry.
Yep.
So you need to be aware what used to be good may not be acceptable anymore.
Yep.
So it's good to know what the industry is doing.
And then Lynn Lenton is doing 2020 contracts review this Thursday from 10 to 1 also. So you can sign up for both those in MX1 training. Our Tech Thursday this week, we're going to be going over all the ways to list your property or to list your clients' properties on social media. So it's going to be focusing mainly on Facebook, Instagram, and marketing our listings onto those platforms, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
All right. Also, this week, for Maximum One agents, on July 24th from 10 to 11, Zillow Premier Agent Direct is going to have a special webinar just for Maximum One agents. Now, this is one of those that, we definitely have a love-hate relationship with Zillow. My wife in particular.
I don't know why he's pointing fingers. I'm just saying.
Because it's true. So, but this is a little bit different product than what they had. Zillow Premier Agent Direct is focused mainly on helping agents that have listings to better market those listings and to gain more buyers as well as market their listings. It's a flat fee kind of thing. I think it's $500 a month. But it gives a lot more access to the platform and new marketing opportunities. And this is because we have so many agents that are part of the Flex program and part of Zillow Premier agents. We have a special webinar just for our agents, and so that's coming up on July 24th this week. So we want to talk for a little bit about appraisals, because appraisals have been one of those things that's really kind of coming to the forefront right now. Yeah, I know it's not just Carol Baskin's fault, but with appraisals, we've been having a lot of different issues, and there's also a lot of things that the agents are not aware of right now.
Right. So right now, a lot of like the VA loans, VA appraiser are not actually physically stepping their foot in the door of the property. So listing agents,
it's not just VA. I mean,
there are some other loan lenders and product type that they currently are not doing it. They're doing what we call desktop appraisal. So listing agents, if you don't have your pictures online, you're only going to get what the desktop appraisal sees.
Well, what we're seeing, and it's bad to say, but if you take crappy real estate pictures, it's very possible that can hurt your listing. So using a real estate photographer is very important, because for Fannie and Freddie, Fannie is not letting them inside the same as, which basically FHA, and VA are not letting them inside the house if it's occupied. They'll let them inside if it's vacant.
Correct.
For Freddie, they can do that, or they can do or go by the property. Some of them are even allowing just simple desktop evaluations, which means the only information they have to complete the appraisal is the information that you give them and that what you provided online. And so if your listing comments are lame, if your pictures stink, this is going to affect your your appraisal prices.
Value. And also, not only that, if your client has remodeled a bedroom or bathroom and the tax record shows a 3.2 when it should be a 4.3, and you don't have pictures to provide the differences or your comment reflecting that, guess what? The appraiser is only going to take what's on tax record and what you have online. And we have appraisal that came back $20,000 less than purchase price because of that issue.
And the sad part on that one was it did have the additional space, but the agent didn't even fill out the square footage. They just left the square footage as 0. So the only square footage that the appraiser had to use for his appraisal was what was in the tax record, and they had a complete finished basement. But the pictures are lame, and so
and there was no picture of finished basement.
Our agent was the buyer in this one, thankfully.
It wasn't not our agent.
It wasn't our listing. Yeah, thankfully.
But still, it hurts the buyer.
It
honestly.
hurts everybody,
right?
And so the other thing is that right now, used to be like Ming and I, we would leave comps on the counter for the appraisers about how we came up with our values kind of thing.
And listing
that
agent
doesn't work now anymore because they're not coming in the house. Well, so you have to communicate with them, and you can. A lot of agents still think that they can't communicate with an appraiser. You can communicate with the appraiser. You can't. You can say, "This is how I came up with the value. These are the comps that I used." That kind of stuff, and then explain your values, and you'll find that you have a much higher success rate than just throwing it up and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. Just so you can put in private remarks in the MLS that said prior to appraisal being reviewed or completed, appraiser need to contact the listing agent. So if the appraiser is not coming into the property, which is fine, but they will need to contact you and also call the lender and say, before the appraiser do any appraisal, please ask them to contact me.
Be proactive is really what we're saying. And you can't just hope that this is going to work out. Be proactive, and you will save deals and protect your clients at this point. So please, we love our appraisers. We appreciate our appraisers, but we're having appraisal issues. So either you let them happen or you do something about it.
Well,
so we really want to see you do something about it.
If you don't, it's like anything else. If you don't provide the information, they won't get it.
Yep. All right. Excuse me. So Georgia Realtors have been notified that there's a huge increase in ADA fair housing claims on real estate websites, which seems a little bit odd. And honestly, it's not happened in Georgia that much yet. But we just want to make sure everyone is aware right now that if you receive an email, a phone call about your website being ADA compliant, do not answer them. Do not speak to them. You need to bring in some kind of a legal representative, and we have those through NAR. We have it just kind of depends on the situation. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to speak to them or respond without legal representation, because the majority of these are scams, and we want to make sure that our E&O is not at risk and not getting at risk, because we make somebody calls, we make a phone call, we make a statement, we state things that may or may not be true, and they trap us in lies, and they're recording our messages and that kind of stuff. Be very careful with this, because this is not really a legit thing, but it's one of those things where, because of loopholes and how it's written, you've got to protect yourself.
Yeah, what you say does matter.
Yep.
So this is actually the little handout is actually in your workplace. So please review it. If you have any questions, if you've been approached, please just give us a call so we can walk you through it. So it's not an issue.
Yeah.
Okay?
Now, on the other hand, we do want to make sure that we are adhering to all fair housing rules and regulations. That's just a really smart way to be. We don't play any kind of games with that. On the other hand, I don't want us being at risk for predatory people.
Right.
All right. Everybody's worried about healthcare, or at least a lot of folks are. And here in the real estate industry, you know, we end up having to take care of our own kind of thing. And so, you know, we know that healthcare is a really big issue when it comes to our agents, ourselves, that kind of stuff. Please look for a healthcare survey to come out this week. It will be coming out to all the Maximum One agents. We're looking at what we can do to partner with different insurance providers, different providers, to be able to offer some coverage, and we want to kind of see where everyone is. So everyone will be getting emails and possibly phone calls out to just kind of have a general conversation. It's not selling you anything. You know, we're going to be sending out some surveys. We're going to be putting them out on Workplace. We're going to be sending them out through email. And so, you know, everybody's going to be seeing these, and we just wanted to kind of give you a heads up that really this is us. We're doing this. This is legitimate because I think you know, this is something that's really important to us and to our agents and our families, and we love and care everyone. So this is something that we need to be serious about.
So just so you know, we're partnering up, like he said, about a survey. And so do look at the survey, even if you may not be interested right now. But
it just talks about, you know, what kind of coverage do you have now? How are you providing it? What are your needs? What are your family's needs? Things like that. So we're trying to assess where all the agents are to see kind of where we can help.
This company specializes in self-employment agents. So just understand they got different rate plans and stuff like that, but they do want to take a survey just so we can move forward to see what kind of product we're looking at.
All right. Just a quick heads up. Hey, Noonan office is moving. So we are in construction, heavy construction, and just a couple of little pics over there about what's going on. So the old Noonan office looks like a giant hot mess. And so if you go in there,
apologize
please,
for the inconvenience.
We love y'all. We apologize. It is a big, hairy mess at the moment. But we should we'll be moving. A lot of things, a lot of the construction will get wrapped up this week. We'll be moving heavily next week, kind of thing. So just kind of heads up. We're going to be in the Coweta Crossroads Shopping Center. We're in the public shopping center behind Chick-fil-A. It's a really busy place. So we're going retail there as well. At the same time, Fayetteville is also coming along really well, kind of thing. So our office construction is happening. There's a lot of things going on. So it's a bit of a zoo there as well. But, you know, and Fayetteville is in the Banks Crossing Shopping Center. So we're behind Chick-fil-A there as well, next to the movie theater. So, all right. So every week we go through all the news and we kind of pull out what's going on in the news for the real estate industry. So, and yes, it is hot outside.
It's been so hot.
It is so hot.
And those of you has been hustling out there too, and I see in the back end.
Drink plenty of water.
Yes,
please be safe because it is hot. All right. So one thing that we do almost every single week is we go, hey, mortgage rates are amazingly low. And so this week, Freddie Mac's weekly market survey on 30-year fixed rate mortgages hit 2.98, the lowest average rate in the history of there ever. Anytime, period, kind of thing. So, and it really doesn't look like it's going to change. So right now we are continuing to have just amazingly low rates. Great
time for your client to buy right now.
It is.
The buying power is so much better.
But one thing you want to be a little bit careful of is that we are seeing lenders tighten up on jumbo loans. Jumbo mortgages right now are seeing some pressure. And so I'm not saying that they're not out there, but like the 2.98% and the really low mortgage rate, low interest rates, we're not seeing those on jumbos right now. So, you know, there are some different options on there and what we can do as far as taking a first and a second. There are some opportunities to still do that, but do warn your clients if they're over the FHA loan limits for,
I think it's around over $400,000.
440, I believe, somewhere in that range. Then they're looking at a jumbo loan product. that they might be ready, they might be prepared to see a little bit higher interest rate or be a little bit more creative with possibly doing an 80-20 or something along those lines. So, but a lender can speak to you more.
Right.
Yep. So right now, consumer appetite for cars, homes is what's driving our economy. And so that means what? That's us, y'all. Woo! We got the steering wheel right now. And so, one of the great things is that real estate really is helping to drive the recovery on the economy right now. That's kind of the good thing, because there are two sides to this coin for sure. But we're seeing more businesses open. We had 3 straight months of declines, and now we're starting to see some real growth back into the economy again. And I'm not trying to get into the coronavirus thing. I've never been a big fan of the mask, but if I can wear a mask and help people not shut down our economy again, then I'll wear a mask, kind of thing. So, right now, the biggest monthly gains, clothing stores are up 105%. That's double where they were. Electronics and appliances are big, and furniture is big. So we saw really big gains there in the past month. For the year, non-store retailers, which is online's up 25% over for the year. Grocery stores up 13% for the year. Home Depot, Lowe's up 13% for the year. So this hasn't been bad for everybody necessarily. There is still a lot of positives out there going on with the economy. If you look at the MBA Mortgage Bankers Association Purchase Application Index, over here on the right, you can see this little thing which looks just like a V, and that's because that's exactly what it is right. A V. And so we've seen a heavy V recovery on what's been going on in the real estate industry. So that is really, really great and strong. Shows that folks, there's a huge appetite for real estate right now, and we're blessed to be part of it.
Absolutely.
So, home builder sentiment is back to pre-coronavirus levels. So the builders right now are more bullish about the market than they were even before coronavirus, kind of thing. So right now we're back to where it really was before coronavirus hit. So we're not seeing any kind of builders that are pulling back at all.
Matter of fact, they're having a hard time keeping up with inventory right now.
Yep.
I know there's new construction agents that are just writing contract left and right now.
Yep. Time on the market is lower. 34% more homes sold within 2 weeks of June this year. Bidding wars are continuing to be kind of a big deal.
Yep.
Right now, Redfin says over half the homes were in a bidding war in June, which means that they had more than 3 offers on a property at one time, kind of thing. And so if the property is priced right,
we'll go within a day or two.
So you got to make sure you got your ducks in a row with your buyers. Please make sure that you're talking to your buyers about larger earnest money amounts. That you get your clients as far through pre-approval all the way through underwriting if you can, and include a buyer letter if you to really help seal the deal. We love buyer letters, and we see buyer letters that continue to work, because as a listing agent, all you have to show your client is the contracts. And so if you send me a buyer letter and you've got a large earnest money amount, and you got a shorter financing contingency, I'm going to go with you.
And just a caution on financing right now. All of the lender are extremely busy. Please don't put 21-day financing or 14 days that I have seen. I can tell you right now that's not going to happen. So based on my conversation with multiple lenders. Speak
to your lender about that. But get it as short as your lender will let you.
Absolutely.
So June construction, single family, permits is up 12%, starts is up 18%, and completions is up 10%. Starts is really the big one, because that's how many that they're getting ready to start. And so, us seeing new construction fuels everything else going on in our industry. So, as soon as someone buys a new construction home, now their house comes on the market. Someone buys that one, then their house goes on the market. So we really need new construction.
Right.
Right now we've got some really fierce competition out there for first-time buyers. Right now it is pretty hot. And so we got to make sure that we are doing everything we can to help our buyers take advantage of all the opportunities that they have to buy a home. And so, the things that we were just talking about on getting your offers approved, that's a really big deal. You need to take a moment and plan on that, because the competition really is fierce. You're going into a battle. And so the old days of just submitting an offer and then sending a one-line nasty little email of, please confirm receipt, that's not going to cut it, y'all. Okay. So, we all get much more with honey than with vinegar. So, reach out, try and talk to the listing agents on the behalf of your clients. Let them know what's going on. As a listing agent, if I have a buyer's agent that calls and tells me the story about their client and what's going on, how much they like it, how strong they are, how pre-approved, blah, 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 blah. And when I talk to my client, that's going to help go into the decision process for my client. If all you do is send a nasty little one-line, confirm receipt, well, that's all I got. And that's all I'm going to know. So be smart about it, kind of thing. Right now we are, on the negative side of what's going on in the economy right now. We got about 20 million renters that could be evicted. See, unemployment benefits ends probably this week on the national level, because of the way that the weeks fall. There's probably not going to be federal unemployment next week. It will probably end this week because it has to go through the full week. Is how most states are interpreting it, kind of thing. So, right now there's about 31% of renters that say that they're probably not going to be able to make their August payments, kind of thing. And see, our challenge is that right now during COVID, what we've kind of seen is the tale of two cities almost, kind of thing. Housing is rebounding for sure, but what we have a pretty big wealth gap that's going on. And it's one of those where if your clients were professionals before, and the chances are that the industry did not hurt them, or the coronavirus did not impact them. We're seeing that professional services and people that had quote unquote the white collar jobs, their jobs are still really good. It's the folks who were in the blue collar sector, kind of thing. And so that really does it has shown that that's going on. The coronavirus recession is really affecting, we got about 22 million Americans that have put back and holding off buying homes, in part. And I hate to see that, because interest rates are the lowest that we've ever seen.
Well, there's also the fear factor of, going to places and being infected and all that stuff. So we get it. I mean, but at the same time.
So, but we got a lot of people that are postponing, putting it off. 20% say they've stopped house hunting completely, kind of thing. And so we are seeing that now. On one hand, that does bode well for the future, because these are folks that want to buy. We have an availability issue. What's going on in our market is really heavily driven by supply and demand. We have way more demand than we have supply right now, and that kind of fuels into like we're seeing that dated homes are not the deal killer. A year ago, if a client had asked me about, should I make repairs? Should I upgrade my home? What should I do, kind of thing? Right now, I need it on the market. Like getting it on the market is if it's there and priced right. We're seeing that dated homes is not a deal killer anymore. Matter of fact, it's making a big kind of a big shift over there, where just because we have right now, we have 33% more buyers and we have 22% less listings. So dated homes are not the deal killer that they were a year ago. Right now, we need inventory, kind of thing. One of the new trends that we really are starting to see is ADUs, accessory dwelling units, granny flats, garage apartments, in-law suites. Here in the Atlanta market, there's been a 10% rise in growth of ADUs and accessory dwelling units. That's something that in part we feel is being driven because housing is short.
Right.
On the other hand, you know, we still are seeing a lot of older families mixing with younger, you know, not mixing, but like mom and dad are living in the basement and the
Right.
kids are upstairs kind of thing. And so, you know, that's kind of becoming, you know, a very popular trend. Like I said, it's up about 10% just, and you can see the markets where it's up even more kind of thing. But you know, it's for here in Atlanta, we're looking at 10%. We're looking at that probably to double over the next few years as well. And so, you know, if your property has these kind of features, make sure that you're highlighting those.
Absolutely.
You know, that we see them as being a really, really popular upgrade for the properties right now. NER is applauding the White House to finalize EPA reforms. And this is one of those that this is basically the EPA. And so, see, the thing is that the EPA, while we need the EPA, and I'm not being a negative nanny about it kind of thing, but, you know, there's a lot of infrastructure that needs to get improved in our country, and that can really help to build to help our recovery, our economic recovery as well. But one thing that happened, even like it happened during Bush, it happened during Obama, when we had these quote unquote shovel ready jobs, and then them dirt didn't move, and it's because there was all kinds of restrictions where you know, the government was ready to roll, but the government wouldn't let us. So at the same time, and so I think that it's good that it's smart reform. I don't think we just need to, you know, start bulldozing rainforests. That's not what I'm talking about. But the fact that we have infrastructure that needs to be addressed, and sometimes some of the rules and regulations to address that make it almost impossible to do. So we're very happy to see that kind of growth right now.
Kind of like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing.
Yeah, sometimes like my wife and I.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. Now they're shaking hands. Anyways.
All right. So what do you know about zip codes? I know this is a funny kind of statement out there kind of thing, but you know, the zip codes in the United States, you know, zip codes came out like the 60s kind of thing. You know, they had their little you know, mascot, you know, Mr. Zip kind of thing that came out. There are some very unique zip codes all around the U.S. kind of thing. You know, like the White House has their own zip code. But you know, and the federal government will set up a zip code like during Hurricane Katrina. They set up a separate zip code. Things like that can really help. But you know, and also Smokey the Bear has his very own zip code, simply because he just gets so much fan mail, and that's a really cool thing. But really, where I want to go with this is that I know this is a big, long name address kind of thing, but you can explore your community's zip code characteristics kind of thing, and it'll let you know all kinds of really cool information about zip codes about a particular zip code that you can share with your clients, whether it's buyers, sellers. It helps you on your market knowledge kind of thing. It has 10 different consumer spending, demographic, lifestyle, behavioral trends in all the particular zip codes. So all you do is just go in. It's free to do. You plug your stuff in, and then it has just a ton of information. It will show you like who's, you know, what percentage of the folks are soccer moms, and how many are rising families, and stuff like that. So do explore that. I do encourage you to go back and you know, check on this giant long name. Sorry, it's just out there. But you know, it is one of those things, and I'll put it in the links on the video as well down there, just to kind of make it easier for y'all. But it's just a cool thing for you to know, and to help with your market knowledge about what's really going on kind of thing. All right. I'd like to talk about John Lewis for just a minute kind of thing, because, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, John Lewis passed on Friday at 80 years old. And I find that a lot of times people will know a name, but not really know like the history and really what's gone on. And so, you know, he represented so much, you know, where our offices are, you know, fell in line with a lot of his territory kind of thing. And so I just kind of want to kind of share a little bit, because if you don't know the man, John Lewis, you know, I had the opportunity. I only met him once, and it was at one of these business networking kind of things. And, you know, he's, you know, he's famous. He's a big dog kind of thing, you know. I mean, like I'm just some little peon, and I'll never forget. He shook my hand, looked me in the eye, and talked to me, and it was amazing. Just, you know, how real, genuine, kind, and just he was truly a gentleman, and that I wish I could have known better. So I kind of want to share a little bit about him, and just because I think, you know, he's a very important icon in our world, and it's important that we remember someone like him. So he was born in rural Alabama to a sharecropping family. He attended a segregated public school, and you know, when like my kids have no idea what a segregated school even is, and here's a man who actually attended a segregated school. He was denied a library card. And it's funny because he actually became this amazing reader, and he went off and wrote books and the whole 9 yards. So he attended the American Baptist Theological Seminary in Nashville, kind of thing. There he played this huge leadership role on desegregating the entire city, and it was all based on Gandhi's nonviolent methods, kind of things. He led the Freedom Riders, and he was part of the Freedom Rides to desegregate the South, where he'd go in and do the sit-ins and that kind of stuff. He got beaten so many times. I think, you know, he got beaten and bloodied like 40 times, kind of thing. He became chairman of this group called the Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, and he was the youngest person that got to speak on the historic March on Washington, and that's when MLK shared his "I Have a Dream" speech. He was one of the big six that was there. And he was the last surviving member of that. He led huge grassroots movements and you know, I know it's not politically correct now, but one man, one vote. It should be one person, one vote. I got it, but it was a different time. But he helped really push the Voting Rights Act being passed and helped that coming through. He suffered a fractured skull at the hands of Alabama state troopers when, you know, on Bloody Sunday. He was there with Hosea Williams on the march from Selma to Montgomery. You know, he quoted, he said, "When American people saw what happened on that day, they reacted with righteous indignation." And that is exactly, you know, I mean, to me, that he was there at the shaping of so many when America was really going through trials and tribulations. He was there, and he was the voice. He was the face. And so, you know, in 1981, he was elected to Atlanta City Council. In 86, he became our representative to Congress, kind of thing. And so he had parts of Atlanta, Fulton, Clayton, DeKalb, Decatur. And so, you know, everyone bipartisan praise for him is massive, kind of thing. And I do love the quote that he was a titan of the civil rights movement, and he never stopped working to improve the lives of others. And so, you know, I hope you do take a moment and remember him. You know, I think one of his favorite quotes was that you must find a way to get into good trouble, necessary trouble. I think that's probably one of his most quoted mandates out there, kind of thing. And so he will be missed, and, you know, that's really all I got to say about that. So
we just want to bring just remember
it's important. He's in our, you know,
for his contribution to our history,
our world,
movement, and so
well, that and he's in Atlanta. You know, he's here.
He's homegrown.
You know, I mean. Now, he was from Alabama, but we take him as ours.
Yes.
So, you know, he lived here longer. So he's ours now, and he will be missed, kind of thing.
All right. So accountability.
We're going to wrap up here. Accountability. We need you at accountability. So we had way more people at the beginning than we have right now. So it's time to step up. If you're serious about your business. And we know that you're busy, and we're thankful that you're busy. We had our biggest month ever last month, and we're probably going to have a bigger month this month. So it's a huge blessing. On the other hand, what we don't want to see you do with your business is do this, wham, and it all go right back down. We need you to really be smart about your business. Accountability will help you. So I encourage you. It's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Sorry. Brain barely working, kind of thing.
It's Monday.
So Last thing here is make sure that if you need any of your Maximum One swag, you can go to maximonmarket.com. We have all of our new Maximum One swag stuff on there.
And some
really
of you
cool.
already ordered.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
We
excited.
Maximum One masks, all that kind of stuff. And so if we can be of any kind of service, please reach out to us. You can catch us at, Calendly, Real Estate Backstory, realestatebackstory.com. And there's a myriad of ways. If you need us, call, text, smoke signals. We're here for you. So we love you. We appreciate you. And if we can be of any service, please let us know.
Thank you. And have a great Monday.
Bye, y'all. I'm going to try to end.
Well, you keep on.